Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the All Things Horror Podcast. My name is Caleb,
And I'm Blair.
and today we are talking about the movie Obsession.
Woo! Alrighty, so to start off, the director of this movie is Curry Baker. The rating is R for strong, bloody violence, sexual contacts, language, and brief graphic nudity. The movie running time is an hour and 49 minutes. This was released in 2026. And the plot of this is a supernatural horror film following music store employee Bear, who uses a cursed wishing toy to make his coworker Nikki fall in love with him, spiraling into a terrifying and possessive nightmare.
Yep, and again, that's not a bad
Pretty.
description. I mean, this movie was very much straightforward, but Blair, we're going to go ahead and get right into the categories. You want to list off the categories for us real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we should give a small little shout out to our sponsor, Good News Auction. Give them a check out on what do you check them out on?
You check us out on HiBid. Yep. Thank you
Yep,
for
Harvard.
all the love and support, Blair. You can tell we're up there in her priority list. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Hi
Yes.
again. Check us out on HiVid. But I really want to get into the categories on this one. I'm excited about this. So Blair, what are the categories that we always discuss?
Yep. So we're gonna go through the storyline, the plot, and how it was told. We'll go over the actors and acting themselves. We'll do the scariness, the setting, and to end it, we'll do the costumes, makeup, and CGI.
Beautiful, beautiful. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Blair, if you want to kick us off with our first category, I am genuinely kind of curious what you have to say about this because this was a much different type of horror movie that we've seen up to this point.
Yeah, I agree, especially compared to the other ones we've already talked about. It was interesting. Um, man, it it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you're following one person, the main character Bear, and his life, honestly, from start to, well, finish. But uh, but but it starts off. I don't know. I think this beginning of it did start off a little weird. It goes full circle, of course, but like in the beginning, he's just so depressed and it's very awkward, weird. And his cat
Yes.
dies. I mean, gosh dang it, why? Um, well, I mean, we know why later on, but at first I was like, why? Like, why did this cat have to die? What did the cat do? Um, but the thing that made me mad in the beginning was Bear had the opportunity to tell Nikki his true feelings. She even asks him, "Do you like me? This is your one chance to tell me now."
Exactly. I mean,
And he screwed up.
yes. I mean, this is the whole premise is this idea this guy has a huge crush on this girl. The
Mhm.
foreshadowing of her like not being into him from the beginning, we all kind of got that feeling.
Yeah.
But if memory serves, like we even get kind of led on from the beginning that the other girl is more into the main guy,
Mhm.
the other girl that was working. So it's kind of like okay, I mean, but he had the chance. He had the chance, and he, I even have down in my notes, this guy is a wuss. I mean,
Oh yeah.
throughout the whole movie, he is just spineless. So, and it just
Yes.
gets worse and worse. But I cut
Even
you off.
no, you're good. Even like to go off of that, right in the beginning when he says he wants to stay home because his cat just died, which rightfully so, I'd be pretty sad too. And she calls him like, "But I have some good news. Like I have some news I want to tell you." And he goes out like, "Dude, if you want to stay home, just stay home." Like I don't know. He's pathetic. He's
Yeah.
pathetic.
Yeah, why didn't he tell her? Why wasn't he just honest? Hey, look, my cat died. I mean,
I'm depressed.
I'm not in a good place
I
right now. You guys could
love
come
you.
here. I'm gonna have to miss trivia night. Remember, that's like a big thing for them.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Which, let me ask you, Blair, if you had to guess the age of these characters, how old do you think they are?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um,
Because it's
wow, I was
it's definitely
thinking
post high
20s.
school, but and they're drinking
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
bar,
Yeah.
but I
Definitely,
don't.
I definitely think they're in their 20s, not late 20s either. I was golly, that's a really good question. They could be anywhere from 21 to easily 27.
See, I couldn't tell if it was pre-college or post-college because they all were talking about, you know, some sort
Oh,
of extra education or, continuing their
you're right.
education. But I'm like, okay. And the one was like a tattoo artist, and the one girl
That's
was like talking
right.
about wanting to become a writer, but I couldn't remember if I don't think it was necessarily for sure post high school, but like I don't know. It was which made it even weirder, like not really being able to tell how old these people were. And I'm like, okay, very they're living like they're very young. There's parties, they're drinking, they're going to trivia nights. I mean, for the purpose of going to the bars, they're all definitely not rich. They were definitely
Well, yeah, they work at a music store.
right. I think the one friend had roommates. I couldn't remember. The one guy had his house from his grandma.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was, but I was curious how old you thought they were. But again,
Yeah. And the one dude, the main guy, he lives on his own, and so does
yeah,
Nikki. So
that's true.
interesting.
But
Hmm.
from the get go, just this guy was spineless. Nikki, you know, just going on the other playing devil's advocate a bit, she knew. There's no doubt in my mind
There's
she knew
no
he had a thing
doubt.
for her,
Well,
and
you know what?
she could have ripped
No, go
that
ahead.
band-aid
Sorry.
off just as well. Now, did she
Yeah.
deserve all this awfulness that happens to her? Not even a little
No,
bit.
not even a little bit.
But just
Especially because she gives him the chance.
yes, she
She
does.
even
Absolutely, she
asks.
does. Yes, yes, she does. That's a yep. And he just he is one of the most, in my opinion, unlikable characters I've seen in a while. There were times I was like, man, I kind of feel bad for him, but this is all your fault. And there's been multiple times that, yeah, you could have bit the bullet and started the process of things getting better. Instead, they just get worse and worse and worse.
Right. And even if things would have turned out right, I still wouldn't have liked him
Nah, I don't
because
think I would have either.
no, there's no way. There's no way. Because it's messed up. It's such a messed up situation. You just took control of someone else's life.
And they're going into the story. Let me ask you, sis, like, the what did you think of the store? Like where he got the magic stuff and
Oh,
just like their attitudes.
um, like the workers
Yeah.
that works there? Well, the
Yeah.
one was pretty funny. The second time he goes in there and tries to get the second wish, that I thought that guy was funny because remember he tells him, "I don't know what you're talking about," and then he goes, "Ah, I'm joking. It's right here."
Yeah. And
I
then
thought,
well, remember what he tells him later? Like
oh,
he
that it
might have to
works.
it definitely works. And like he even says he's made the wish and um he goes, man, might have to just kill yourself. Just that was
Oh,
thrown around really casually in this movie multiple times. Like the answer is just to kill yourself.
well, if he's really hating everything that much,
Remember when he calls the hotline? And let
yeah,
me
that
ask,
was
was that
unfortunate.
him on the phone? Like hearing that voice, the first time I heard it, like when he was talking on the phone, I thought, is that him talking to himself? Or
No, there's no way.
I don't know. I couldn't tell, but well, then remember, like he even says, do you want to talk to her? And like you hear
Yeah,
Nikki screaming in the background.
that sucked.
Yeah. Oh, that very much sucked. That for me was like, oh, okay, this is definitely some sort of like possession thing.
Oh yeah, because she's still living it.
Yep.
She's living it. Yeah. Well, don't you remember when she talks to him?
Yeah, that actually was a very unique thing. And I actually like this movie is very unique overall in that there's parts I really liked, And then there's
Hmm.
parts that I was like, ooh, this is a little much. I don't like this at all. And it all evens out to this movie is good. You know,
Yes, I get
I,
that.
because the whole like premise of this movie goes back to just the whole thing. I even have it underlined. Be careful what you wish for. He gets the wish. He makes a very powerful wish on Nikki, and she is obsessed with like I mean this goes above and beyond obsession. You
Yeah.
could make the argument he's obsessed with her, and then she's just nuts.
Ooh, that's a good way of thinking of it. Because he is
I mean,
obviously super into her.
how many times did he still try to make it work? Even though
Oh, I
he knew,
know.
even though it was going on, he kept trying to make it work.
And when he calls the hotline and he goes, I don't want to take the wish away, I just want to tweak it.
Change it,
That
yes.
really solidified you deserve everything you get. Like
Yeah.
you are a piece of crap.
Yep. And then for that was after that girl got her face smashed in with a brick. You know? Excuse me,
Mm,
not excuse me, that no, that was when he went back to the store. My bad. No, no, no. When he went
yeah.
back to the store, remember he's covered in blood and he wants to
Yes.
make
And
another wish?
well, what's great is no one at the store does anything about that either.
Not even a little
Like
bit.
I did think that was weird with like the worker there being like so nonchalant, like, "What'd you do, man?" And he showed some concern, but not enough. Like, he
Oh,
should have shown a lot more.
I mean, the
Clearly,
guy's
something was wrong.
covered in blood and
Yes,
he
and
was just
freaking out.
still, yep. Now, the only like major issues that I had with the story itself is
Mhm.
one, I didn't think that this movie could have been a PG-13 movie for me, and for this is my opinion. I think it would have made it better. I didn't think there need to be the random gore moments. Like we didn't need to see that girl after her face got smashed in. You know what I mean?
I
Honestly,
I know I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead. Sorry.
honestly, I don't even think she needed to die. I think if she would have lived, that would have made it more interesting because that's just another person that sees her as the psychopath she is, or blames him and yada yada yada. I didn't think any of them, the extra characters, needed to die. He did, I agree with that, but they didn't. But that's my opinion. I also
Yep.
I remember us talking about this when we watched it. The sex scene,
Mm,
again, I thought it was very unnecessary because they do a time lapse that they're living together. Clearly, they're making out in the uh, the place they work. They're in the same bed. They show clearly there's enough kind of foreshadowing that they're sleeping together. I didn't need to
hmm.
see that, and then you see it, and it's like okay. To me, it didn't enhance the story, but you told me that was a very controversial moment for many people who had seen this movie, and I missed that. Not to say it's not, but me, I didn't think it needed to be there.
Hmm.
But
And I think that's also just a little bit how you and I think. Because I
could
know
be.
those aren't, yeah, our favorites kind of thing. Like, I think if you can make a scary movie without having to add like unnecessary, just because horror movies get a bad rep for like always having to have the nudity and like sex scenes that are just so pointless. Um, and if you can make a scary movie without it, you did that's good. You did it in our opinions.
Well, and there's
Um,
so many of our favorite scary movies don't have those, so we
right.
it's proven to be done and still scare us.
Yeah.
But then going back to just the storyline overall, it's to an extent. I mean, going back to like I said, be careful what you wish for.
Hmm.
Girl, he's obsessed with her. She's possessed. She loves him more than herself, and these scary moments, were unique. There were more cringy, suspenseful moments for me in this,
Hmm.
and the ending was satisfying to a degree. It really There was a small twist at the end. I didn't think it was, you know, like, revolutionary twist, but it was different. So for me, as a storyline goes, it's going to get a B. It takes a simple premise and enhances it to, I'm like, oh, okay, this is definitely above average, but it's nothing necessarily like outstanding for me.
Hmm. I I'm definitely in the B area with you. I think I'm gonna give a B plus. Um, I for me, I thought it was odd just how easy it was to get the wish and how it
Mm,
wasn't talked about more. I don't know. I feel like that was just one thing that stuck with me a lot of the time because like I don't know, like if that was real in our time or whatever, like I just think it would have blown up and it would have been such a huge thing. I don't know. I just thought it was wild how easy it was to get, or
sure.
I don't know.
So
And could it have been written in a way where his was like fluke, like his worked, or and it's just I don't know. I don't know. I thought about that on
it's funny you
how
say that. Um,
yeah.
I even have down. It reminds me of like a horror movie version of Big. You know, the one with like Tom Hanks. He's a
Oh
kid,
yeah.
wishes to be big. It's again careful what you wish for, but this time it's more of the horror version of it. I again in those things, it's like, oh man, it's so easy. Why don't people do this? Like you said, and
Mhm.
then like even in the movie, his one friend who doesn't thinks it's real. Remember, he breaks it and he wishes for $1 billion and it starts falling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, okay, it's cheesy, but it's definitely gets the point across.
Right. But
But
would it have been like interesting if it didn't work? Like
well,
how like you know what I mean?
absolutely, and it's funny you say that again. Like when he tried to make his second wish and it
Mhm.
wouldn't break, that actually was for me what bumped it up to more of a B. Originally, I was going to go like a B minus because it was slow. It was a slow movie for me. It was
Yeah.
like almost like okay, this is a love thing kind of going on. Then
Yeah.
they show that they are in love. He got his wish. And then before I knew it, we're like almost an hour in the movie, and all of a sudden she starts going into that crazy level.
Mhm.
So I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, it was an hour of establishing probably too much. So, but then when it showed like there were actual rules for these wishes, like he can't make another wish that counteracts his other wish, or he just gets one wish. I don't remember
Yes.
completely,
It's
but
you just get one wish. And I
there,
liked that.
yep, I thought that was very interesting. So they started, there wasn't like a legit established rules, and then the people at the store like they were just so casual about it. Like, remember, like in the first time he goes there, hey, don't complain to me if things go bad. We're sick of the complaints. So people have done this. And then when he gets
Yeah.
back, he sees him covered in blood, and then he suggests killing himself to completely end the wish. I'm like, what the heck?
I know.
Um,
That was odd.
so I thought it was very interesting, and for me, interesting is enough to get up to that B.
Yeah, I agree. And I even did a B plus. I didn't mind it. I thought I mean it had me intrigued enough. For me, I do actually think what pushed it to the B plus was kind of like you said, the fact that you can only make one wish, but also I liked the ending. Um, I was okay with the two side characters dying. I think it enhanced the ending because it just makes it so much worse for that girl, Nikki.
Mm,
I mean, she literally had nothing to do with this. And granted, one thing that we totally skipped over, the friend, which you know what, maybe we can get into that when it gets to the acting. Um, but like she had nothing to do with obviously this wish and everything. And when he dies and it like she finally comes back to reality, it's just her. Like that just adds to like it just
just the
sucks.
awfulness of all of it. Yes, it's a
Oh.
pretty. It ends pretty low, and that's very true.
Yeah.
Thinking about it
I
like that.
do agree though the girl that's the friend, um I liked the way that she died. It was crazy. Which it gives you that shock factor, which I think we kind of needed because like you said it was a little slow.
Mhm.
Um but it did come off a little fake, which sucked. Like the dummy body that they used, it didn't, which that's kind of more in the makeup, I guess. But I don't know. Also, a brick. I don't think that she needed to smash her face that much, but whatever. She's crazy, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But
And
yeah.
for me, they did a great job, and I'm excited to talk about like the setting and how they use the setting. That
Hmm.
car moment was a very intense moment because I remember the whole time we're all
Hmm.
thinking any minute she's going to
Oh,
show up,
any
and
minute
she
she's
did.
coming.
But okay, so I'm a B, you're a B
Yep.
plus.
Yep.
Blair, let's head on to scariness since we're starting to get into the idea of how that suspense worked. What did you think of the scariness when it came to this movie? Because it is a horror movie, at least that's what it's classified as. Did this
Yes.
movie scare you?
No. The only thing that scared me about it is like, what are people out there, wishing or saying out there, like, upon me? Does that make sense? Um, like, not that I think this is real, but like, I do think words that you say are like, can be powerful. Um, and I don't know. I mean, I do. No, I didn't think it was that scary. Um, I just gives a disturbing, eerie feeling.
I get that. And you know, the moments that I thought were scary were like when
Mhm.
he would wake up in the middle of the night and she was in the corner. That was kind of like, okay, this is because remember she had like the
Unfortunate.
kind of a
Yeah.
creepier smile. Yes, it was like, all right, this is definitely unfortunate. And she had like a weird walk, showing that kind of demon possessed kind of thing. And then when they were in the car sitting like in the back of all of our minds, we're thinking, okay, any minute now, any minute now. But those moments were so far and in between that it
Yeah,
really
definitely.
the only
Only.
if I had to point out one iconic moment for me in this movie, it actually would be when he is starting to walk towards the door and we see his face start to like show fear and
Oh,
he turns around and she has duct taped the door. That was that was a moment. I was like, okay, that's pretty sweet. I like that.
yeah, I get that.
But
Um,
but like you said, it didn't cause me fear as the watcher. It didn't really. Maybe this movie could have used some more jump scares. I don't know. It set itself up for some more. I don't know. Maybe to enhance that, maybe make it feel actually scary because it definitely needed something to generate more fear. It had more cringy moments for me. Like remember when she makes that scene and with her friends, or like
oh,
just like when they're at that
that was
party.
awful.
That was see, that was
Yes.
more cringy for me. It gave me that like that cringe feel and
Yes.
more like just, ooh, this is disturbing. Now, and
Yep. It's
disturbing,
the same with the restaurant.
yes. And like we talked about in a previous episode with like Black Phone,
Mm-hmm.
disturbing for me is not the same as scared.
Girl.
And like when she's yelling at him in bed, or when she is just standing there the whole time, or she's doing these things to her body because she's so obsessed with him. You know, that was disturbing, but it didn't scare me.
Right. And honestly, what I found like kind of creepy would be when she would come back to reality for those split moments.
Mm,
That I was like, ooh, that's like, because no one, obviously, everyone just thinks she's going crazy,
right,
and
right.
no one believes her, and like that just sucks for her more. But I would,
Oh, and
I
she'd
would find
stab
those
herself
to
with
be
that
creepy.
bottle. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that was so unfortunate.
Yep.
Even when she was whispering to him at night, like that was just like a, oh, that's so like creepy. Like
Yep.
you aren't even yourself. You are, but you can't. Like you're not yourself, if that makes sense.
Right.
I don't even know how to word that.
No, it's the
Um,
right way to put it. Like, but again, it just didn't really hit me as you know. There was no moment like I was covering my eyes. I wasn't. There was nothing like that generated the fear that I was that we hope to get out of a horror movie. So I'll go ahead and give my grade. For me, this movie gets a B minus on the horror scale. It and I appreciate the
oh,
simplicity. the simplicity of a lot of the things they did, the darkness in the corner, the camera angles of her and them in the car. Oh man, no, I can't even do it. No, I'm gonna go C plus. This movie
Yeah.
didn't scare me.
No,
It,
it
it
did not
didn't.
scare me either.
So I'm
That's
going
funny.
C plus. I talked
That's
myself out of it. That's the most. Even like when she murdered the friend and brought her into the house. At that point, I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't scare me, and you banging on the door, it's just disturbing, and that doesn't necessarily scare me. So it's getting a C
mhm.
plus for me. I talked myself down. Sorry, Obsession, you're going from a B minus to a C plus.
Oh, I was gonna go way lower. Um, I was between D plus and C minus, and
Wow. Okay.
yeah, um, which I'm gonna land on C minus. Um, just because I do think it gave some of those creepy moments and even some of the disturbing moments. I mean, putting myself in that situation, I would also be like, "Holy crap! Please just shut up." Um, and like, guess it gets your heart pump racing, whatever I'm trying to say. Um, but no, it was just slower. No, yeah, because really, even the like demonic part of it wasn't even like crazy demonic.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I wish maybe we could have. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there could have been more about the supernatural part of it that could have been amped up more. That could have been a little scarier. Um,
Glowing eyes, maybe, or something that I don't know. Maybe that's too cheesy, but yeah, maybe
right.
just a supernatural aspect of it. But that being
Hmm.
said, I don't know. It didn't. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So C plus from me, C minus from you. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, Obsession. And man, yeah, I'm probably being generous with my C plus, but there it is.
That's all
Okay.
right.
All right,
Um,
Blair. What's our next category?
yeah, let's do the acting. Um,
Ooh, okay.
it- the acting to me is what made this movie.
Yeah.
I thought everyone did a fantastic job. Even side characters like I thought everyone did a good job. And I appreciated some of the dark comedy to it. Like the person when he calls the hotline or even the worker at the store like messing with him a little bit or just not getting straight to the point. Some of that dark comedy to it I think added. Uh but the four friends, each one did a great job, but Nikki really did a great job
She was incredible.
playing. She was incredible, and she did so good, especially when she would have to jump from herself to the demon person thing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I thought she did so good switching back and forth. Her smile was real, so I thought she did a great job at that. And I even saw
Wow.
some behind the scenes of her doing that, which was pretty interesting. But and I mean, we're not supposed to like Bear, and we don't. Like he does a
No.
good job at us not liking him. And I think he even takes us through the most. I mean, Bear and Nikki take us through a lot of emotions, but I do think he takes us through quite a bit with like starting off right in the beginning, kind of feeling bad for him, like, dang, your cat just died. And then, like, oh, you're a really awkward dude. And then it's like, dang it, man, like, why didn't you just tell her how you feel? And then he makes that wish and everything goes downhill, and you're like, dang it, you suck.
Yeah,
And
you're
as
the
it
bad
keeps
guy in this.
going, yes, and as it keeps going, you just dislike him more and more. Um,
What do we
and
always say in horror movies? What do we always say about characters? They always deserve what?
to die. When
Then
you,
thank you, Bear.
it,
He
yes, he proves that point. He
proves that
deserved to
point.
die. And
Don't
even
make
the
wish
movie
on
agreed with
sticks.
it. The movie
The
literally
movie
says,
agreed with the.
"You need to die."
Yeah, they told him.
So they
I
did.
don't make the rules.
I, hey, we're just here to talk about it. I don't know what to say. But So even the two friends, side characters, I thought they did a nice job. I gotta admit, I really disliked his best friend. What a crap best friend. Who's
Yeah.
like he knows that he really likes Nikki and he's sleeping with her behind his back. Like, dude, you suck. Like you're the worst. Honestly, you are the worst. Um, and then he doesn't believe him with the wish thing. Like I don't. He's just a crap friend. He's just a really crappy friend.
But I
But
mean, I
that's
think
what he's
that's a
supposed to be.
there it is. I think that goes again. Like you said, that's a testimony back to the actors. As the four main characters go, I'm right there with you. I think they knocked it out of the park with Nikki being just incredible, whether it was just her mannerisms, the way she, you know, anger, the way she just the different acting, all her facial features for
Yeah.
me are what really did it.
Mhm.
She really did an immaculate job. Um, but Bear, like you said, you want to get a go from pitying to somebody to like, okay, you are awkward to like you are spineless to
Mhm.
okay, guy, you are genuinely the problem. Okay, there's only so much we can take before we go. You heard the owners,
Off it.
like the people, yeah. But it was which is interesting. And then the two side characters did their job great. This was very nice to see four main characters, I would say, that all have different personalities, and the
Mhm.
actors portrayed them very well.
Yeah.
So I got to do it. I'm gonna go for Nikki's sake. I'm going A plus.
And this I really dabble on this because I don't know if there's going to be a movie out there. Maybe I could be wrong. We got a lot to go through. But do I dare test the line of an S for acting? I
I
mean,
I
is
get
there
it.
one character in this movie, side characters, everything, that you just didn't like?
There definitely wasn't any I didn't think that did not do their jobs. I'm even going into the friends at the party.
I know.
They did They did just fine. I mean, everyone did their job. The owner of the store was an awkward, kind of out of touch guy. He was different. Everybody
Nothing
did
was
their job. I
cringe
don't know.
acting wise.
Maybe the cat was dead, so it did its job well. I don't know.
I mean, I do think when I think of all the characters, everyone that we watched through this movie, I no one stuck out in a bad way. Um, and I really don't. I'm trying to think of all these movies that I've watched, scary movie wise,
Oh,
and
there's always at least one character that craps and ruins
I
everything.
know, or that just isn't like I don't know, I don't know. So I am. I think I'm gonna give an S on acting.
Yep. And I get it. I really do. I think, oh man, can I put this in that S category? I don't think I can yet. I don't think I can put in my top 10 performances overall as a cast
Hmm.
just because it is what it is. But man, an A plus. This movie is worth seeing strictly to see if you want to
Yeah,
see good
Nikki.
acting in a
Yeah.
suspenseful horror esque movie.
Yep.
But all
I get.
right, that and it stinks that it wasn't scarier. It really
I
does.
know. It's
What a
not my.
performance!
It's. I know an amazing performance with a not scary movie. Like, yeah, it's not one that I need to watch again. If I'm being honest,
And there it is. And that sucks to say
it
because they did
sucks.
such a good job.
Yeah,
All right.
that is unfortunate. All
An
right,
S
off.
from Blair. The first
Yep.
S we've given on this podcast for anything is
Hmm.
Obsessions acting for Blair and an A plus from me. And I get it. But Blair, go ahead and hit us with our next category.
The next one is setting. What do
Um,
you got to say on that?
I loved the way they actually used the setting in this movie. It's nothing necessarily huge, but between like when they're sitting out in their car, that car scene where it's um Bear and the one girl that's going to get her It's she's going to get she's going to get tattoos. She's going to get tattoo
Yeah,
certified or
tattoo
something like that.
school.
That's what she's going to tattoo
School.
school or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably saying that the worst way, but whatever. Um,
Mm.
the way they turn the cameras and like, because you're not even really paying attention to their conversation as much.
No,
Is she
you're
behind him?
not.
Is she behind him? Is she
I
behind him?
know.
And then she finally does appear. They probably could have made that a little scarier, but I loved how they angled their cameras for that. I loved, funny enough, I loved when Bear was when he would lock himself in the bathroom and Nikki would be banging on the doors. I thought they
Mm,
used that
mm-hmm.
setting really well. And just the house overall and the music, the where they worked was there. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't necessarily enhance the story.
Yeah.
The bar was fine, things like that, and like where they did their guys get together, but end up being the girls there too. It was fine. The house was definitely the main thing.
Yeah.
Um, the way they used it was pretty good. Um, the tape door is definitely going to be an iconic moment for me as well. So
I
I
agree.
liked overall what they did with their setting. Nothing super nothing really stands out to me necessarily, but they used what they had.
Yeah, it's pretty normal. I mean, it's just a normal life. Every day you go to work, you're out with your friends, you're in the car, at your
Oh,
house, restaurant.
one major thing that we are forgetting is the actual store itself. What did you think of the store?
Oh yeah.
Like you walk in and it was, for a lack of better term, it was definitely more of a free spirited kind of place. Remember, he was there looking for
A
rock
necklace.
crystals. Yep.
Yeah.
And he ends up
Yep.
finding a wish stick. And there was definitely some more, you look more around the store and there appeared to be more, very much like voodoo esque, very much getting into that world kind of stuff around. At least that's what you start to think. So I thought the store was a nice touch.
I
Um,
thought so too. And honestly, stories like that to me, just how we grew up, who we are kind of creepy
yeah,
and
yep,
have an eerie feel to it. So, because immediately when he was like, "Oh, I want to get a crystal," I was like, great."
yeah,
Um, which I mean, whatever. Like, I know I have some friends that are like into that stuff, but personally, I'm not. So things with that are creepier to me.
yes, yep.
So
Like to
instantly when he walked in, I knew I was like, this can't be good. And
see,
I was right.
it's funny for me. That store started out as like, okay, this is the kind of place that, yeah, it's creepy for like you say, we kind of grew up. You're gonna get your rock crystals. You might get some of those like, dream catchers. You might get things that are a
Yeah.
little different. But then the second time he goes back, because we know of what the wish does,
Mhm.
that's when I started thinking, ooh, this is like the kind of place you could get a Ouija board, or you could get,
Right.
something like much more demonic. So I was looking around a little bit harder at just the different things they had. Um,
Mm.
it was kind of interesting to see how that kind of evolved throughout the movie when the second time he went to the store. Because I actually liked that he went back. That it wasn't just a one time thing.
No, I agree. I mean, I thought it was smart to try and get a second one. I mean, I thought his plan to get a second one to break the wish. I mean, yeah, I thought that was clever. So yeah, I did like that he went back. That was
Wasn't bad.
yeah, it
But
wasn't bad. But
but as a setting, I don't think I can give it much higher than a B. A lot of times I match the setting a lot with the storyline. Um, if the storyline is really good, typically the setting is right there with it, with enhancing it. But this is just another case of that for me. It's another B. The setting is good. They used it
mhm,
well, but it didn't build on the horror. Like it didn't build on the scariness or horrorness for me, and necessarily. The
yeah,
shop would be the closest thing for that. The house was made scary because of the characters,
yeah,
and I don't give that necessarily credit to the setting. So, me, it's
yeah, that's
getting a
fair.
B,
And
which
I
is
think
fine.
for me, it is a B plus. Kind of like you said, goes with a little bit with the storyline, which I also gave a B plus to. So But for me, I do think it's because of that. The store gives it that extra little bump. It's the unique thing that stuck out about it.
Agreed. It is. So right
Yeah.
there, you get a B plus from Blair and a B from me on the setting. We have one more category, I believe. Blair, go ahead and tell
Yep.
us what it is.
It's the costumes, makeup, and CGI. And actually, there was no CGI in this.
Seriously.
There was none because I
Wow.
originally thought when she does her like creepy walk out of the corners, I thought
Gosh.
it was CGI'd. Um,
That was her,
but when
huh?
when I looked it up, it was everything like creepy and like this like well her smile was her smile and the walk what they did was they like played it backwards.
Oh,
Um
that's
y-
interesting.
yeah. So they just messed with things and like just used different camera lighting and setting but no CGI.
Genius.
Yes, it was genius. So, I give it major props for that. I was very impressed with that.
The fact that there's no CGI really surprises me, and I am going to give it major props for that because I
Mhm.
thought for sure that with her walk or just typically there's always like little spots of CGI in movies like this somewhere, but the fact that there wasn't, well done.
Yep.
I would
I
say
was
that
very impressed.
the costumes, I mean, there's not much. I mean, they're just casual
Yeah.
outfits for the most part. So well
Day
done,
to day.
showing the time, showing their age. But let's talk makeup, Blair.
Yes. That's yep.
This is where it can get a little more dicey. Um,
So,
I'll let you start.
yep. All right. So, two parts that stick out to me the most is when she punches herself with the glass bottle
Mm,
which good makeup. I thought I mean it looked pretty real, looked scary, broken bottle, I mean, all of that looked good. Uh, the one thing I didn't like was when she was bashing in the friend's face. It's gory and it's intense, that's not my issue, but it looks fake. The more her head gets smashed in, um, it just I feel like I could tell that it was a doll or just obviously not a real body anymore.
yep.
Um,
There was
it
no reason for that shot.
I agree, or I don't think her head needed to be bashed in that much. Like I mean, yeah, obviously I get she just kept repeatedly doing it, but I don't know. I still don't think it needed to be bashed in that much.
But
And then I like when she just kept going faster and faster, it just made the like body prop look lighter, which is why I was like, oh, this it just looked really fake and it
yeah,
took some of the scare out of it because I was like, dang it, this was supposed to be a major part. And
yep,
as it kept going, it got worse. I was like,
yep.
dang it. Like that sucked.
For sure. And then like what they did with her body after. Remember where she was in the
Oh
room?
yeah.
It was like,
I
oh
thought that was
man.
pretty pointless.
See, to me, a lot of what they did all of a sudden it got cheesy to an extent. And we've even
Mm,
said it multiple times where less is more.
yeah, I
This is
agree.
probably an example of that,
It's a
which
great
stinks.
example.
Yep, which stinks because I agree with like when she would stab herself with the bottle, that was really good. The blood in the
That was
correct
good.
spots and showing the scars. Or when he came home and she was like had sores on her and you could tell she
Oh
was
yeah.
gross.
Just yes.
I thought, okay, that's really good.
I
Um,
thought that was good too.
so it's, the costumes, there's not really any costumes, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Right. Trying
The
to think. I don't think there was any other major makeup moments, really.
Not really, at least nothing that comes to mind, but
Yeah,
I
other
am
than
going to give it,
him being covered in blood, but again, I mean, there was nothing that was from the head bashing.
and there it is, like the idea that he's getting blood all over him too, and it's like, gosh, I don't know. Could she have had super strength because of the possession? I suppose.
Yeah, that's a good
Could
point.
and it's funny, we have a cousin that loves this movie, absolutely loves it, and I got into an argument with it, well, I should say discussion about it. we were about this specific scene. He was like, if imagine you had long hair. I'm like, jerk. And he's like, stay with me. So, like, if I'm pulling or doing stuff with your hair, he's like, I can do anything to your face. I said, stop it. Get out of here. You're not gonna
What a
stay.
moron.
I It's an interesting argument though, I thought, but for me,
No, it is.
major props for no CGI. Going back to the girl that was Nikki, absolutely incredible. Um,
Yeah.
but major props for the production team as well and the director for the idea of just like, hey, let's just rewind her walking and we'll show that look as kind of like a possession walk. That's
Yeah.
great. That's a
That's
simplistic
smart.
idea to get the image.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the costumes are almost a little irrelevant, so I'm not going to make that affect the grade whatsoever. I'm going to go with the
Mm-hmm.
B. Yeah, the fact that there's no CGI, I gotta stick with my word. I'm gonna go with the B plus. The makeup
Okay.
was good. No CGI in this, where many a company would have let CGI ruin this in certain spots. They
Yeah.
didn't do it, so I'm gonna go B plus.
I'm gonna go B. Solid B on it. Only what takes me down is honestly the bashing head scene.
Yeah, it and that stinks because that's
It
supposed to
does.
be a pretty climactic moment,
Yeah.
and it didn't. It didn't get the job done. So
No, agree.
all of that said, Blair, we're getting into the end now.
Yeah.
What would you
The
rate this movie? What would be your overall?
overall, and I think what keeps this at a solid grade is definitely the acting. I'm gonna give this movie a solid B. A
Yeah,
solid B.
yeah,
And
and
I mean, I
it's
could argue a B plus.
nah. I no, I'm right there with you. I'm giving it a B as well, and I hate
Yeah,
giving it a B
I
because the
know.
girl people who acted in this, specifically the girl and Bear, the
Yep,
two leads were
the two
great,
leads
and
were
we're giving it a
great.
B. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it is unfortunate.
it's not necessarily a bad story or a bad movie by
No,
any. The story's good. Careful
story's
what you
good.
wish for. Gone wrong.
Yep,
No CGI. The makeup is decent enough.
decent. Yep,
It's not scary though,
just not
and we
scary.
gotta get some scare in our life.
I agree.
All right. So
Completely agree.
two B's over the overall grade. It is what it is. Obsession. I probably will never be the one that says let's watch this, but I also am not opposed to watching again it with somebody if somebody wants to watch it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Not,
All
yeah,
right. Blair, you always like to ask the questions and you also like to tell the audience what we're watching next. So, Blair, if you had some questions for some people to think, a good question for the audience to think about, and if you need some time to think about it, go for it and tell the audience what we're watching next. But let's kind of get into that next. What do you think?
yeah. Well, I mean, the only question that really comes to mind, and again, this is kind of a picky question, which again does kind of help with like the nitpicky. When a movie's good enough, we kind of like to nitpick at some things. So, I mean, again, this is a decent movie, but is there a way, like, how, what would happen if his was the only wish that came true? You know, like if the friend tried to, like when he went to wish for the $1 billion and it didn't work, or even the ending when Nikki snaps it and it didn't work. Because it would still, he still would have died. We
Mm.
still would have gotten that same ending because he tried to, he swallowed all those pills and he still died. But so what? Like, would that have added something? I don't
All right.
know.
I like that. I'm going to ask a question myself actually this time. And my
Yeah.
question was kind of something we talked about in the beginning. And that is, I made the argument that nobody needed to die in this movie. So I'm curious what the audience thinks. Let's say that the tattoo artist girl didn't die and neither did the friend. What would that
Mm.
have done to the storyline? Would it have helped it? How could they have written this to make it possibly scarier and enhanced it?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fantasy writing the movie a little bit. But do you think that was something that was necessary or unnecessary?
That's good. I like that.
All right. Blair,
All
What
right.
is our next movie? I'm super excited about this one. You've been recommending this one to me since day one.
I have. So our next episode for all things horror is going to be over the movie Hereditary, which I actually saw this movie when it first came out in theaters. I was in high school. Um, Seen it one time, never watched it again. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll see.
I
Stay
remember,
tuned.
yep, you've been recommending this. I can't wait to watch this. But that is going to be our time, ladies and gentlemen, our discussion over Obsession. Come back with us next time. We're going to discuss the movie Hereditary. Again, this is the All Things Horror Podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Blair.
Thank you guys again, and have yourself a great rest of your night. Bye bye.
Bye.